Okay, what is the length or term for copyright protection? The law is a little bit complicated for older works, but any works created after January 1st, 1978 fall under this rule. Basically, it's 70 years of protection past the life of the longest living author or creator of the work. If there's one author, 70 years past his or the end of his or her life, or if there are multiple authors or creators, 70 years past the longest living creator. Okay. But in some cases, the copyright will be held by a business that it will be work for hire in that way. So the actual creator of it is not as relevant for the calculation. So the calculation for that is either 95 years of protection past the date of publication to the world, okay, or 120 years past the date of creation if the item is not published to the world. So whichever is shorter. So say 10 years after creation it's published, then it has 95 years from the date of publication. But if 21 years after creation it was published, then in that situation, it would only have 89 years of protection. You see, so anyway, the shorter of 120 or 95, depending on that. Now, anything before January 1st, 1978 gets a little complicated. So if there was a work that had been created, but it wasn't copyrighted and it wasn't published to the world at that time, would be under a different. Basically, it would allow for a system similar to the current system, that is 70 years past the date of author, or the lesser of 95 or 120 years past the date of creation or publication. But at that time, at the passing of the 1978 law, it allowed for 25 years protection of a created work no matter what. And if the created work was published but not copyrighted out there in no way, shape, or form, less than 75 years of protection. So which extended it to 25 years from that time would have been 2002, and 75 years would have been 2047 from that date. That's for works that, again, weren't subject to copyright protection, but were created or were published to the world. Now, yet another set of rules for copyright that is established, a established copyright prior to the 1978 rules. And this was under the prior 1909 Act, which established a framework that allowed for 28 years of protection past the date of copyright. And then in the 28th year, you could file for an additional 28 years of copyright protection.